Alright, it's about from 75 to 80 degrees outside, and while other people are hoarding for the toilet paper, let's do some real job and replace couple gaskets, because we received the 3 magic bolts to hold the oil filter housing from FCP Euro. So let's get to business, and after that I'll be able to put the the belt, to put the fan, and so this part gonna be complete. And yeah, let's get to the business. Okay, for the cooler I'm gonna be using E12 socket. Goes right in here, and I guess there is third one in the bottom. And for the filter housing I'm gonna be using E8. No, I am sorry, it's actually hold on, I thought it's E8, but no, it's E10 socket for 3 bolts holding the oil filter housing to the motor. I'm gonna remove the filter, and I'm gonna be using this fluid evacuator, what I usually use when I'm changing the oil. So yeah, let's get started. Remove the filter, suck the oil, remove this oil cooler, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it sucked most of the oil. I cleaned the residuals. So I'm gonna start with the oil cooler. I probably put some tarps or some towels underneath, just to make sure we don't flood all the pulleys in the bottom, and we'll continue. Alright guys, so just remove the oil cooler. So this is the gasket. Just want to make sure the one that I have looks approximately the same. Yes, looks like this is correct one. It's still dripping some oil in here. That's fine, we got the pan in the bottom, so all the oil gonna be gathered there. Not a big deal. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna remove this old gasket or seal or o-ring, whatever it is, with a pick, and we're gonna proceed with the removal of the oil filter housing. Also, let me see if I can, yeah, just undone this sensor. So far so good. I don't see any problems yet. The only thing, this bolt, I mean this hose, is on the way of this bolt, and I don't think I have wrenches. I just got sockets. Alright, like I was saying, I did not have the space to get to this bolt, which I thought gonna be one of the easiest ones. So I used the regular 8mm wrench, you know, this like 12 thing socket, I guess. Not a socket, but closed end wrench, let's put it that way. So, and yeah, this bolt is actually going well. I'm surprised that it's pretty stuck. It doesn't go as smooth. Maybe because it was extended, since those are aluminum bolts or aluminium bolts, whatever you wanna call it, or actually depending where on the globe you're at. So we're almost done. Maybe it was covered with all this gunk from that side, that's why it doesn't go as easy. The other two bolts came out very easily. Okay, while it's still there, let me take this one out. Okay, bolt number 3. 1, 2 and 3 bolts, and now we can take that thing off. Alright, doesn't drip very much, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean it, and we're gonna install it back in the reverse order. So quite a lot of gunk here around. I'm gonna clean it out, try not to get anything of this debris into the oil holes, it's gonna be bad. And I'm using these precious paper towels you cannot find in the shops right now or in the stores, but anything for BMW, right? So that's it. By the way, I'm not sure why this one is not sitting on its place. Did it shrink? It should be like that, but for some reason it's kinda shrinks itself towards the intake manifold. Okay, I'm somewhat finished the cleaning of the mating surfaces. Let me try to get camera here. So this area, this is where the coolant circulates, and obviously it's been leaking a bit, so it has some kind of baked, you know, particles here. I did try to use acetone, I did try to use gas degreaser, like anything, they won't come off. I very carefully used the razor, so I didn't want to gouge, you know, any of the surface. Same thing here. I used some acetone to clean the, you know, the surface, and I installed this gasket. You can actually see it, the old gasket. This one was pretty much already flush with the surface, and it's almost like a plastic. So yeah, this goes back. I'm gonna let you know on the screen what the torque value is for the bolts. I'm gonna Google it in a moment, and we'll proceed from here. Okay, I found out that those 3 bolts supposed to be torqued to 16 foot-pound, which translates to 192, I believe, inch-pounds, and I got like a little torque range, so I'm gonna try to torque them evenly, so it doesn't doesn't warp. Interesting fact, I have the magnet for screwdrivers, so I can magnetize them and demagnetize them, and so everyone's saying those bolts are aluminum, but it attracts to the magnet, so I'm not sure if it's the truth or not, but it's definitely within the magnet field. It could be some alloy, it's like steel and aluminum, I don't know, or steel or some other, or aluminum and some other metals, but it's definitely not just pure aluminum. Okay, I just cleaned the mating surface of this oil cooler, so it says, you know, somewhat clean. I installed the brand new gasket, and for the record, those are not the original gaskets. I guess those are OEM, made by L-Ring, so we'll see how they're gonna hold up. So I'm gonna install the oil cooler now, and I'm gonna torque them to the same 192 inches pounds. And while we're here, the same test for the 3 bolts holding the oil cooler. Those are definitely not 100% aluminum bolts as well, so I'm not sure why people are stressing out so much. Alright, we've done with this oil filter housing. Now it's the time to get to a Valvetronic motor. I probably won't be able to show you guys, but it looks like it's been serviced before. I see like the RTV or some kind of silicone sticking there, so hopefully it won't be an issue like for us to, you know, take it out and clean it. Yeah, I can see that this silicone like around this gasket, but regardless, what we're gonna need to do, there are tons of video on YouTube already showing how you can do that, but like in few words, those 2 coils are coming off. There is 1 little screw holding this Valvetronic motor, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to remove this kind of housing for the wiring or not. There is like a very tiny spot right in there. I'm not sure. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can see it right in the center of your screen, like the little screw. Okay, looks like there is the plenty of ATV being used. I don't know, it looks a little crazy. Hopefully it's not a milkshake. Take a look how much, some kind of silicone or what. So that's the old seal or gasket. Now I'm gonna need to clean all this silicone from this motor. Folks, I'm gonna get back to you once it's cleaned and ready to be installed back. Before I forget, I wanted to show you how much oil is right here in the bottom. So there is literally a puddle. So that's why the engine was smoking, because the oil was pretty much overflowing from here right on the headers and the catalytic converter, and it was burning there. So probably I need to use again the oil suction thing, because it's like ridiculous. It's a puddle, the pool of oil. Take a look. Absolutely crazy. Any solutions, folks, how to get all this silicone off this metal plate? My god, it's chunks of silicone coming off. It's ridiculous. I don't want to use a scraper, but I mean, come on. Technically, it's not a very good idea, because you can easily scratch the mating surface and it's gonna leak in that point. But I mean, come on. Unbelievable. And I also don't want those chunks to fall into the engine, because it may clog the oil passage. Alright, there is something, guys, I wanted to show you. Remember, I couldn't get this RTV or silicone out or off, I would say, from this surface, so I used this stuff. So typically this is to remove the paint, and like latex paint, and you need to kind of spray it, wait for it to do its thing, and then you can wipe the paint off kinda. So I couldn't spray there because I don't want this stuff, it's freaking nasty stuff going everywhere. But so I put some on my on a rack, and I'm kind of did like around, just carefully, not to making sure this orange stuff doesn't go anywhere inside the engine. So I let it sit for about a couple hours, and check it out. Actually, when I'm rubbing, that's the stuff actually takes off this RTV. It may take me couple of applications, but I mean, in overall it's do its thing. It's kind of inconvenient to do like with one hand with the camera in front of me, but I mean, you can see it's actually working pretty damn well. So I'm gonna finish this kind of scrubbing with this rack, and we'll see. Let me show you here what I was able, or how I was able to clean it. So there are a couple gouges on the surface, I guess from the previous repair, because I definitely did not scrap them. So So the next step gonna be to install the gasket. Alright, I'm having my morning coffee now, and I'm about to put that thing back together. So what's left? I need to put the serpentine belt back in place. I'm gonna need to put some coolant because I totally drained the system. I'm gonna leave this area exposed without putting the cover because I want to monitor how the seal is doing. And once I'm gonna confirm it doesn't leak anymore, I'm gonna put the cover back. Alright, the belt is installed. I even managed to do it without looking on routing guide. What I have here is original BMW coolant. I'm not sure why I'm spending the money for this old car to purchase something original, but regardless, we're gonna put 1 gallon of coolant. We're gonna put 1 gallon of distilled water, and we'll see how much more coolant and distilled water we need to add, because if I'm not mistaken, there are about 10 liters of the total capacity in that engine, and something always stays like in the engine block or something. So it's 3.7 liters or almost 3.8 plus another 3.8, it's 7.6. so we may be somewhere close to the capacity, and we're probably gonna need to add just a hair of another bottle of coolant. Okay, I just put 1 gallon of coolant and probably like 3/4 of distilled water. It's almost full here, so I'm gonna turn on the engine so it's kind of circulate around. I'm gonna turn on the heat. All that assuming the car will start, because we had this Valvetronic motor, kind of replaced, and hopefully the battery is still alive. So let's do that, and we'll see all the liquids pouring from all the seals. So let's check it out. Insert the key, foot on the brake pedal. Okay, it started. Okay, let's go and check out the fluids. That's normal, I guess. WD-40 and like brake clean, like whatever is evaporating now. And let's monitor the coolant. And it's so much quieter here right now. So finally it's working properly, at least in this part. No more whining noise. Whew, that smell is ridiculous. Okay. And I forgot, we need to turn on the heat all the way so the coolant go all the way through all the contours. Okay, heat all the way. And in order to get rid of 4x4 error, I guess we need to rotate the steering wheel a few times. Okay, here we go. Now there is no more error. Engine oil level is okay. Okay, we'll let it work for a while. Let's observe the coolant again. Okay, let it build up the pressure a little bit. Okay, that's so much better now.